Hello all and welcome to Crochet Designs. My name is Mary. In today's tutorial we are working on part 5 of our patchwork jumper. Now I have been off air for a couple of weeks, been very unwell. Occasionally I'll pop up a short just to keep you entertained if you will, but I have been off air and we have not had time to finish our sweater. Today we're not going to finish it, however we are doing the top part of our sweater or shoulder area, if you will, and neck edge area. What you will need for this tutorial, I'm going to rush into it because it's long like most of my tutorials. You will need your scissors. You will need between 2 and 4 stitch markers because you still need your stitch markers here. You will need your 4 colors only, maybe 5 depending on your size, or 6 depending on your size. I will have all the sizes up on the screen for you throughout the tutorial so you won't be left out in the lurch. All right, thank you very much for joining us. Good luck with part 5 of our patchwork jumper slash sweater. Good luck. Alrighty guys, where I left you off in the last tutorial, which I believe was part 4, I left you off doing the seed stitch, and then I asked you to head off on your own and do the amount of sets to suit your size. Now whatever that size may be. So I'm popping that up on the screen here. This is how many sets you should have for your size. Once you have your sets all the way up from the base of your ribbing, from here, right, so from here you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and whatever else you need for your size, which is right there. Once you have that many sets done for your size, you can now start to do this guy right here, which is our shoulder seam. Not shoulder seam, shoulder piece, the shoulder area. That's what we're doing right now. So for now, what I want you to do is not focus on the colors, but focus on the amount of stitches you have from your first stitch or your last stitch right up to your very last stitch. Sorry, your first stitch to your very last stitch, yeah? So count your stitches across. This is the amount you should have for your size up on the screen now. So count yours across. I'm doing the large, so I should have 85 stitches across, yeah? So now what we're going to do for each size, this is all sizes, we need to pop our stitch markers in the section where we want to go for our size. Now, our very first stitch marker, we need 2 stitch markers, but I want everyone to grab one and count across this way until you see the amount up on the screen there for your size. Now I'm doing the large, so I'll be counting across and then I'll place my stitch marker on the 29th stitch. But have a look at the stitches now, and that's where I want you to count to right now. All right, so for the large, and again count to your stitches that you see right there, I'm going to count 29 across. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 and 29. All right, so your job is to pop your stitch marker, there's your measurements there, on that stitch count for your size. All right, now from here we're still on our 29th stitch. You need to be on the stitch for your size. Keep counting across until you get to your size. Now there's the sizes again, so you're counting from the stitch marker that you've got in there at the moment. So mine would be on the 57th stitch. I need to place my next stitch marker. So check the size of yours, and there are the sizes right there now. So here's mine. Yep, so that's 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, and on my 57th stitch I'm going to place my stitch marker right there. And I should have, in this pink section, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches before that stitch marker. Going back over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches before that stitch marker for this color. You guys will have a different count for your color. All right, so now you need to focus on the colors. Have a look at your color, where your stitch marker begins and ends, so that you have the same amount of stitches here as you do on this side. So 29 this way, I should have 29 that way. So let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. This is your count right here. That is what you should have on this side, and that is what you should have on that side. I hope I didn't confuse you all, but that's what you should have on both sides of your piece right there. Yeah, you should have 29 stitches on one side and 29 on the other if you are doing the large or whatever that is up on the screen right there. All right. Okay, so I hope I didn't confuse you with that, but there you go. We're going to start by wherever our thread is, flip your work, because that's where we're going to. No, we're not. We're going to take this stitch undone and we're going to change to our new color for the last stitch. All right, so you start your stitch, you finish your stitch, get it right, Mary, and hold it there, grabbing your next color, which is, for me, the brown, or, koala, whichever you want to call the color. Pop the hook on, pull your loop through like so. Now just holding the tail of the brown and your red, grabbing your normal thread and just doing a chain one like normal. Yeah. Now you are flipping your work as though you're doing a normal row, which you are. Oh, it's a little awkward now, guys. Give me a moment. So you're doing your normal piece across. So what are you doing? You're just doing a half double crochet in your first stitch, like so. Don't forget to pop your stitch marker on, like you would any other row. Nothing's changed at the beginning and the end of each row, which is good. I'll just bring that up a little bit. And we're going to do our stitches across to suit, actually it was probably too close, sorry, to suit your piece. So go right across. Mine is 17 across. I'm just going to pop the amounts there up on the screen for you. This is the amount you need to go across in this piece right here. So off you go doing your amount all the way across. Mine is 17. So I'm going to get to the end of our piece and I'm rushing it so that we can just change into the next color. Oops, I shouldn't be rushing it. It's splitting the yarn. Don't you love it when you rush? Excuse me, they're saying. Hurry up. All right, here we go. We're almost there. Hurry up, Mary. Come on, move it. All right, so last stitch, we're going to, as normal, start our new stitch. Start our last stitch, grabbing your new color, which is the green. All right, so for me is the green. Now, if you are at an area where your stitch marker has landed there, it probably wouldn't. No one will be there, so that's all right. So just grab your new color, like so, and pull that through like normal. Once again, you are holding the tail end of your new color and your other color in the back of your hand so you can start your next stitch like so. So nothing's changed in this area. This is all the same. All right, I want to stop right here because I think some of you may be at the area where your stitch marker is. Now, before you get to your stitch marker, you need to leave yourself 1 and 2 stitches, the stitch marker stitch and the one before it. So get to your second last stitch before your stitch marker, or third last, whichever you want to call it. So those of you may already be there, like extra small and small, you might already be up to your stitch marker. Alrighty guys, I did want to speed that up a little bit just so that you didn't have to wait. But what I want everyone to do is to be 1 and 2 before your stitch marker, just place your very next stitch in there. All right, what we're going to do here now is we're going to put a half double crochet two together, or a decrease if you will. Now a lot of people do this two different ways, and I'm going to show you both ways. Then I'm going to show you the way that I normally do it, which is the second way. So the first way is popping your yarn over your hook, going into the stitch, pull a loop through like that, yarn over again, into the next stitch, pull a loop through like that, yarn over, pull through all loops on your hook, and you should have that. I find that a little overcrowded and hard to get my hook into when I'm doing the ribbing at the end. So what I did was I cut it down to an almost slip stitch. So it's yarn over your hook, into the next stitch, pull a loop through. Now before I put my yarn over the hook again, this time I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to jump into the next stitch, pull that loop through, and I've got 4 loops on my hook. Yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on your hook. Now you could do it this way, or you could do it the other way. Whatever suits you, both ways can be classified as right. A lot of people don't do this way because it's not exactly right. But I find it a lot easier for me. All right, so what I want you to do, you see this stitch marker right here? Don't worry about it. We're not going to focus on that until we finish this side. So what you want to do here is chain 1. You can take that stitch marker out if you like now. You won't need it there anymore. Chain 1, yeah. Now we're going to work along these stitches only. So flip your work. All right, so hopefully you flipped your work a lot easier than I did before, because I'm, to put it on fast to get rid of that. So yarn over your hook, and you should be right there. All right, carefully looking at your stitch. That is a stitch right there. Green's not a very good one to see, but you're doing your first half double crochet in that stitch right there, and popping your stitch marker in that stitch like you would any other row. And then you're going to do your green, or whatever color you used, all the way across until you get to your next color, which in my case is the koala or the brown. All right, now I'm on my last stitch right here. I'm going to pop my hook in like normal and change my colors exactly the same. Pass your yarn forward, pass your green forward, and then grab your koala or brown and pull the loop through like normal, and just continue across your row like normal. All right, super easy, yeah? So you don't need to do anything to this side of your work. This side is not going to change. The only thing that changes is the other side where the neck edge is. When you get to the end of your row, like normal, into your second last stitch, into your stitch with your stitch marker, nothing's changed, taking out your stitch marker like so, chain 1, yep, you got to flip that work. All right, so flip your work yet again. I'm going to cut my red. In fact, everyone cut that last thread of your work. All right, if I can find the scissors, I will cut. And this will get rid of one thread. I'm going to leave a bit of a long thread. You don't need to. I will, because I want to use it to help weave in ends later, or sew up ends later. All right, so you've turned your piece around. Yes. Now what I want you to do is do your double crochet, your half double crochet. First we'll do our first stitch so we know what we're doing. So everyone does this, everyone's doing this anyway, so we're all doing the same thing across. We've just got different amounts of stitches. Pop your stitch marker in that stitch right there. Pop this out the way. And what I want you to do is do your row all the way across. I'll try and put this on fast until I get to the next colour, and off we go. Alright, so here we are at our next colour, popping our hook. Before we do, I'm not sure what stitches that you had across, but when I was across this way, I had 12 stitches across here. We, at the end, decreased the 2. So we should actually, for the large, have 11 across here. So count them now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, so we've got 11 across now. And just change your colour like normal. Drop your brown or your koala, grabbing your green, and it's so far away. So you're just grabbing your green. You know this part. You've done it all along. Yeah, grabbing your green like normal. Now go across and do your stitches. So we're doing our half double crochets all the way across. Now extra small and small, you wait around here because you would be already close to your stitch markers. But for the rest of us, get as close to your stitch markers as you can, or at least to the last 2 stitches. All right, one more for me. All right, so what we're going to do here is exactly what we did before. We're going to do a half double crochet 2 together here. So yarn over our hook, into the stitch, pull a loop through. You can pop the yarn over again if you like, and then jump into the next. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to pop my hook in, pull a loop through, 4 loops on my hook. You might have 5. Yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on your hook, taking out your stitch marker. All right, so remember before I said we had 11 across. Now count them. You should have 10, or whatever size you have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you might be around here somewhere. That can get a little tricky doing these 2 together. All right, so let me just have a bit of a play. All right, so let's say for argument's sake you are at an area where you should have done 1, 2, I'll just do that for you, where you should have done your 2 together here. My suggestion would be to start your grey, jump into the green without adding the green, yeah? Pull the grey through and pull through both, chain 1 and then turn your work. That is if you came to an area where you need to do your 2 together with your mixed colours, yeah? So no, not many people should be doing that. Maybe extra small might have done that. I'm not sure. I'm trying to guess how many stitches across they had. If you're not up to that, don't worry about it. Chain 1, flip your work. All right. Okay, and what we really are going to do is to repeat these 2 rows again. Yeah, and we started this next row just putting a half double crochet in the first stitch like normal, and then we put our stitch marker in that stitch like normal. Yeah, I'm going to go all the way until we get to the end of this green. Like so. Now you know how to do this. You've done it a gazillion times before, but I'll show you again. Show you again. Pop your hook in your very last stitch like normal. This time, remember, we are passing our threads forward because all our threads are in front. So we are passing our threads forward, or our thread forward, grabbing the koala or brown, whatever you want to call it, and just pull the loop through like normal. Yarn over your hook under the brown and into the stitch, and off you go doing this row right here. I've got to stop because my yarn is all tangled. That'll teach me, won't it? All right, I just had to detangle my work there, sorry guys. And I'm going to pop this on fast until we get to the end of the row, and off we go. right, at the end of the row here, just going to end it like normal, where we are doing our final stitch. Chain 1, take out your stitch marker and flip your work like normal. Start your row again. Nothing changes here. On this side, nothing changes. On this side, nothing ever changes because we are making a boxed kind of a jumper. So this is staying straight. Alright, we are close to changing our threads. Hook in, pull a loop through, drop your colour like normal, grab your new one, pull it through like normal, and this I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stitches now. You might be at an area where you need to do your 2 together soon, using the 2 colours together maybe. Two together we're going to do. Remember how we do that? Yarn over the hook, into the stitch, pull a loop through. Now yarn over if you want to, or just jumping into the next stitch, pull a loop through, yarn over, pull through all the loops on your hook, taking out your stitch marker, chain 1 and flip your work. Before you do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so yours will decrease at the end of every second row, and we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. Now we just have to double that. That's all you need to do. Double what we've done here. Just keep going over and over again. We're going to do that together. I'll try speed up the color change so you don't have to sit here and watch me doing the color change all the time, and just watch me doing the normal decrease area. I think that's it. Now if you are a more avid crocheter, get to this time right here for all, these are all the sizes by the way. You don't have to sit here and watch me do this part, but for the rest of us we're going to continue doing the next 5 rows together. All right, there we go. All right, so now I'm going to pop this on fast. I'm going to change colour and get close to the last 2 stitch markers. The last stitch marker, and off we go. Alright, here we are at the end of the row. Just finishing this side like normal. This side never changes. Chain 1, take your stitch marker out and flip your work yet again. Okay, into the first stitch like normal, chain 1. Oh no, chain 1s. Excuse me, Mary, get it right. Pop in your stitch marker. Okay, now remember, we're going to go all the way across to our green and change our colours. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just keep going all the way across until you get to the last 2 stitches of this side. I'm going to pop this on fast. Even when we get to the colour change, I'll pop it on fast. Alright, so where you should be is right at your very last 2 stitches there. Once again, you are doing your 2 stitches together like so. Chain 1, stitch marker out, and flip your work. like so. All right, counting your stitches across, sorry, before you flip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, let's get on with the next row. Okay, so let's get a nice close up there. And have I chained my one? Yes, I have. We're going to half double into our first, popping our stitch marker in there like so. And I'm going to pop this on fast until I get to the end, and off we go. All right, my last stitch there. Chain one, taking out the stitch marker like so. Nearly knocked the screen down. My thing down. Whoops. I dropped my scissors. Flip your work. Don't drop your scissors. We'll pick them up in a minute. In a moment. All right. So, what you should have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 across. All right. And we are going to pop this on fast once again in a minute. Once we pop our stitch marker in the first one. And get to the end of this row, to the last 2 stitches, so that we can do our 2 together again. And off we go. Alrighty, I fumbled through that row from the start to the end. I made a big mess. Alright, so before we continue, just count how many rows we've done. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, so we're going to do the last 2 together, and I've split my stitch, so I'm going to take out my stitch marker. But do the last 2 together like we've been doing all along at the end of this row. So you pop your hook in, jump into the next stitch. Well, hopefully yours wasn't as split as mine. And complete those 2 together. Yeah. Chain 1, flip your work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches I've got. Flip your work like normal. This is your last row for some sizes. I think there's the size measurements there. If you need to do more than 10 rows, then go ahead and do 2 more after this row that we're going to do right now. All right, so I want everyone to do this row here, which is, there's your first stitch. Pop your stitch marker in there like so. Alright, so here we are at the end of the row. I got crochet happy and forgot to stop. But here we are at the end of the row. Alright, so what you have now is that And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches across. And when I say 7 of that last colour, I'm not including my original count of the first set. So make sure that original count does not change. The only thing that should change is this one here. And as you can see, your work is going up on a slant. We are decreasing, or did decrease, in every second row. We should now be up to our 10th row. Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so what I want everyone to do here, no, I tell a lie, don't cut your work, because everyone's thinking, what? Extra small, small, medium, and large. I want you guys to stop right here and cut your work, leaving a nice long tail. You're going to use these tails to help sew your pieces together later. For extra large, extra large, 2 extra large, and 3 extra large, I want you all to do 1 row only of this. Okay, now for mine, I'm going to do another row for me, even though I'm a large, because I should have done the extra large and didn't. So I want everyone to wait there. Pop your stitch marker in there, yeah, if you're doing the extra row. So for extra large to 3 extra large, just do this extra row. And I just split the yarn. I've been doing a lot of splitting of yarn. You may notice in the middle of my fast that I've been splitting yarn across the rows. So all I don't want you to decrease. I just want you to do a row of normal half doubles all the way across, no decreasing, normal half doubles all the way across. All right, so last stitch, we're not doing, see the splitting I've been doing lately? We're not doing decreasing here. We are just, normally we would decrease here. We're not, we're just going to do a normal half double in that second last stitch and a half double in the last stitch. Smaller sizes, you stay where you were. Take out your stitch marker, chain 1, pull up the loop. For 4 extra large and 5 extra large, do another row after this as well. So what I did now, I did that. What I want you to do is to grab your scissors. Mine's on the floor. And I've just picked them up. And I've left a really, really long tail. Not necessary for this one because it's a small piece. But cut your work and pull it through. But leave a nice long tail for this one. You're going to use this one to sew to your other side once it's complete. But don't worry about it for now. Just cut your work and that's done as well. You can actually take that stitch marker out if you like. You don't need it there. I might leave it in there so that it's easier to find when we're sewing our pieces together. You can leave it in if you like. In the meantime, everyone, flip your work. And this is where we were before. Remember how we placed, bring that out a bit. Remember how we placed a stitch marker there and a stitch marker there, yeah? So we were coming across this way with our work and we decreased at the end of this row. What I want you to do is grab your hook, go all the way over to the other stitch marker, the middle one, not the end one, but the one in the inside where your front area is to be, right across there. Take out that stitch marker right there. Grab your very next colour. Mine is the blue. Before you start, remember what we did before? How we counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pinks. Without counting that stitch there, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pinks for me, yes. And over here, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 browns. All right. So if you don't do this, both sides of your work will be crooked. Make sure they're the same. Yeah, grab your new colour, popping it through, and mine is the blue. Okay, passing it forward. Bring up the look. I'll just get rid of that. Bring it up. Chain 1, tighten that chain up. From here, what you're going to do is, remember before how we did 2 together at the end of the row there? Well, we're going to do it opposite now. The 2 together is going to be at the beginning of the row. So yarn over your hook, start your half double in the same stitch you are in, pull that loop through. You've got 3 loops on your hook. Jump your straight into your very next stitch. I'm crocheting over the tail. Straight into the very next stitch, pull a loop through, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on your hook, grabbing your stitch marker and placing it in there like so. Yeah, you can crochet over your tail if you like a little bit. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to just do 1 and then drop it at the back. It's going to be weaved in underneath anyways. And then do your blue or whatever colour you're using all the way across until you get to your very next colour, like so. And here we are. Once you're here, just count your stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 across, because we did these 2 together. It should be 12, yeah, but we did these 2 stitches together, so it's 11, yeah. All right, so we're going to start our next colour, grabbing this little guy right here. Oh, what's your colour? Mine's the pink. I don't know what colour you're using for yours. It's too big, that one. Oh, what am I doing? That goes at the back. Excuse me, Mary. Okay, pop your colours behind, not forward, behind. And do your very next colour all the way through to the end of your row. I'm going to pop this on fast and off we go. Alright, here we are at the end of this row. Pop your hook into your last stitch, chain 1 like normal, nothing different, and flip your work. Again, you are doing your half double in your first stitch like normal. You guys know how to do this part. It's super duper easy, this bit. Make sure you chained 1 at the end of that row. I can't remember if I did, but I think I did. Okay, and just continue all the way across until you get to your next colour. Alright, here we are at the very next colour. We're going to do our colour change like normal. Remember how we do it? We're passing it forward. Now this is a little tricky, this area here, because you've got lots and lots of tails just for this one step. After that it becomes a little easier. Yarn over, under your tail or your loop, into your first stitch. Be careful not to miss that first stitch. And your half doubles all the way across your row. So this is no decreasing at the end of this row. So just be wary. This is totally opposite to what we've been doing. Yeah. So all you want to do is just jump into your last stitch and do your last stitch like normal. Chaining your 1 at the end of the row. All right. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right. So what we're going to do now is, once again, flip our work. I'm going to have to flip it without holding it, and I can see a knot in my pink. Can you believe that? Look at that. Don't you love it? Don't you love it? I'll take it undone and do it again later. So once again, you're going to start your decrease in your first stitch, pull a loop through, jump into your second stitch and pull a loop through. You should have 4 loops on your hook, or 5 if you're putting your yarn over. So yarn over and pull through all the loops on your hook, pop your stitch marker in, and you've decreased 2 stitches into 1. All right, and then you do your half doubles until you get to the next colour, and we will count again the stitches across just so that you know what you're doing. And you're decreasing in every second row, so you're losing a stitch in every second row. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we'll do our 10th one now. So 10, pull a loop through, drop your blue, grabbing your pink, pull that loop through, and doing your pink all the way across your row. Yep. I'm just going to avoid the knot for now, but I will actually take my work undone and cut that knot out because I don't like knots. See, there you go. I'm just going to avoid it for now, just for this part of the tutorial, but I will take it undone. I don't like knots there. It's right flat bang in the middle and right up the top too. We don't want it there. Okay, get to the end of the row. Alright, so here we are at the end of the row. Went quiet there, sorry about that, guys. I was going to put it on fast, but I changed my mind. Chain 1, and there you go. Alright, flip your work. Okay, now guess what? That's it. You're going to repeat these 2 rows over and over again until you get to the count of your count. Now, I only need 10 rows for my count. I'll pop your count up on the screen. I need 10 altogether. I've done 3, so I need another 7 more rows. This is the amount of more rows that you will need until you complete your set. All right, so what you are doing, remember, we are not decreasing this way. We're doing 1, you know what, let's do it together. For those of you who know what you're doing, just go to your 10th row and I'll meet you back here once you're done. 5 extra large, you can go to your 12th row, okay? But for the rest of us, we'll just do this together, and I'll pop it on fast so that you don't have to sit here and watch me do stitches across, yeah? But I'll pop it on fast and off we go. Going right to the end of the row and off we go. Here we are at the end of the row. Now don't forget, the end of the row on this side of our work, we are not decreasing. So just do your normal stitch, chain 1, taking out your stitch marker. You are decreasing in your very next row. So flip your work. Oh, she's gone quiet again. Excuse me. Excuse me, let's go. All right, so yarn over our hook, and you're decreasing 1 and 2 together, yarn over, pull through both those loops. I think I just played with the lighting on the screen there, guys. I'll fix that in a minute. And just pop your stitch marker in your first stitch that you just made. And be careful not to go into the same stitch that you're in, yeah? You're going right into the very next stitch. And you're doing your half double crochet all the way across until you get to your colours, your next colour. Okay, like so. What are you going to do? Your blue, like normal, drop it, pick up your pink, and there you go. And you're just going ahead like normal. I'm thinking you've got the picture. I'm thinking to send you off on your own, plus I need to fix up my pink here because I don't really want to keep that little tail there, so I know that's going to come through and I can actually see it there now. All right, so I'm thinking you can actually continue these 2 rows over and over again until you get to your 10th row. Okay, so your job now, continue, do this until you get to your 10th row. Meet me back here and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. So these 2 rows over and over again, get to your 10th row, complete your 10th row, and then meet me back here and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, where you should be, look at all my threads now because I messed up that pink. Anyway, where you should be is 10 rows worth of your colour. Now I have 7 half double crochets left across here. So that's where we are at the moment. Everybody should have 10 rows, except 5 extra large. You guys need to have 12 rows. So if you haven't done the next 2 rows, do them now with your decrease and we'll meet you back here once you're done. So what we're going to do now is extra small, small and medium weight right here. Cast off your thread, leaving long tails. But for large, extra large, I mean large, you don't have to do this. I'm doing it because I should have done the extra large. So it's kind of optional for you. Okay, but extra large to 3 extra large, I want you to chain 1 and just do a row of half double crochets. No decreases, just a half double crochet row. I'm going to pop my stitch marker in there just for fun. Yeah, I say just for fun, but we might need it later. Yeah, and do your half double crochet row across. All right. So that's only for the larger sizes, all the way up to 3 extra large. For 4 extra large and 5 extra large, you do 2 rows on top of your 5 extra large, by the way. You do 2 rows more. Okay, so we're doing 1 row. 4 extra large and 5 extra large, you do 2 rows. All right. Probably what would have been better for you is if you had done maybe a few more rows of ribbing, but our ribbing is already quite it's really quite big. So I didn't really want to do more ribbing for you, so I thought instead we'll just add the extra row up the top or the extra 2 rows up the top. Okay, this is going to be sewn into the top of your sleeve anyway. Well, the top of your shoulder, I should say. So you won't actually notice this extra row or the extra 2 rows, yeah? Oh, it's nearly done, nearly done, nearly done. Once you finish this row, that's extra large to 3 extra large. Once you finish this row, you can, I've split my yarn, you can cut your threads, leaving long tails. You know, you can decide later which tail you want to use to sew your pieces together. All right, so there we go. Chain 1, 4 extra large and 5 extra large. You do yet again another row. No decreasing, just do the other row. Oh, I cut them both together because they were tied up in a knot. That's from spinning it around too much. Well, the sun's coming in, guys, meaning I'm going to have to stop recording now. Otherwise, you won't be able to see anything over the next 5-10 minutes. Yeah? All right, so guess what you've got now? You've got that. All right, that's what you have. Your job now is to do, let's bring that out a bit, 1 more of these. Now, if you've done 1 more of these, that's okay. Meet me back here Monday, and we will talk about joining our pieces together. Now, this one here, I haven't given the extra row, but I'm going to do an extra row for mine. But if you have not completed a second side, you need to go right back to part 2 of our sweater and start the ribbing and do your second side. Come back here, do this tutorial right here, then meet me back here Monday and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Our next step will be to attach the top parts of our work and start our sleeves. Thank you very much for joining me today, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Do all the wonderful things that you guys, well, yeah, pretty much already do for me. And once again, apologies for such a long delay between parts since I've been a little unwell. I still have a bit of a croaky voice, as you can probably tell, but that's life, yeah? What do you do? All right, don't forget, before you return back here, make sure you weave in all your ends, the little ones that you see at the back. Not these ones up here, because we're going to use these to sew our shoulder seams together. You can decide which color you want to use. It doesn't matter. Now, just a quick heads up. This is the right side of our work. This is the right side of our work. When we flip it, this is what I was talking about in part 4. When we flip our work and we pop the two wrong sides together, you'll have two different colours facing each other. I'm sorry about the sun. I'm going to head off now anyway, guys. It won't bother you anymore. But that is what I wanted you to see. That even though we're doing the same colour combination for both sides, when we face them opposite each other, they are different colours. Super exciting, yeah? All right. Thank you for joining me, and I will see everyone on Monday. Don't forget to join us on our live. We have a live at Saturday morning, 10 a.m. and a live at 4 p.m. on Wednesday afternoons. That's every week. We'll have a live like as normal on this Saturday. So I'll be back to doing our normal lives. Hopefully everybody starts feeling better. Thank you very much for joining me, and thank you for all your well wishes while I've been unwell and the family's been unwell. All right, don't forget to weave in all your ends, and I will see everyone back here for part 6. Get excited. What a mess, what a mess. I've got to weave in all these ends. Ciao for now. Oh my gosh, where do I